In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how your school can use technology to improve its emergency protocols. Because if you're still relying on email, mass texts, and the intercom system to communicate during an emergency, none of those channels actually guarantee your messaging reaches everyone in the building. So instead, what we've done across 5,700 plus schools in the US and Canada is turn every screen in the building into part of your safety system, where alerts are sent automatically the moment something happens. And that's exactly what I'll be covering in this video. By the end, you'll know exactly how this works and how to set this up in your school, so the next time an emergency happens, your message reaches everyone in the building without fail. Let's dive in. The first thing to add to your emergency protocols is visual alerts on the displays you already have throughout your building. That includes displays in your hallways, entryways, cafeterias, libraries, plus the screens you have mounted in the front of classrooms and the screens in your offices and meeting areas. Sending an alert to all of these displays is what gives you the coverage to make sure no one misses a critical update, no matter where they are in the building when something happens. Another part of why emergency alerts work so well is that they override anything that was already on the screen, so they always take priority. It doesn't matter what's already on the screen. When an alert is triggered, it goes through automatically and shows up on every targeted screen at the same time. The visuals on those alerts use clear, vivid instructions that reduce confusion in stressful situations, so people know exactly what to do the moment they see those screens. Also, the alerts can be triggered from anywhere, so your staff doesn't have to be at a specific computer to trigger them. One of our customers, Necedah School District in Wisconsin, used to take up to 60 seconds to fully lock down their school using the old intercom system. But after connecting Rise Vision to their existing emergency system, they brought their lockdown time to about 20 seconds, which is over a 50% reduction in their response time. And given that the industry standards are a critical 30-second window from spotting an active shooter to the situation getting out of hand, saving that much time on lockdown can completely change the outcome. Once you have visual alerts running on your displays, the next step is connecting the emergency system that your school is already using. Most schools have an existing solution like Raptor, Crisis Go, InformaCast, Alertus, or SingleWire, running their lockdowns, weather alerts, and evacuations. The goal here is not to replace any of that. It's to extend the reach of these tools, so the alert triggers on your displays at the same time it triggers everywhere else. That connection works through something called CAP, which stands for Common Alerting Protocol. CAP is the standard that most emergency systems use, so different tools can connect without any custom setup. So when your existing emergency tool triggers an alert, the message shows up on all your screens at the same time, without anyone having to log in and do it manually. Removing that manual step takes away the biggest point of failure in any emergency system, which is depending on a staff member to trigger that alert in a very stressful moment. By the way, if at any point in this video you decide you want to try this for yourself with Rise Vision, click the link in the description. It's our all-in-one platform for digital signage, screen sharing, and emergency alerts. Anyway, let's keep going. Once your alerts are sending automatically, the next thing to set up is making sure the right people see the right message, which comes down to targeting and templates. Not every emergency needs to go across every screen in the district at the exact same time. And getting both of these correct is what gives you full control over who sees what. The first part of this is location-based targeting, which lets you control exactly which displays an alert reaches. You can manage emergency messaging across multiple locations with a single platform, sending an alert to one school, a group of displays, or every screen in the district, depending on the situation. So each zone can be managed by different users, but the entire system can still be taken over if something major happens. The next thing you want to have set up is different templates for each type of emergency before the situation actually happens. Because a lockdown alert, a tornado warning, and an evacuation all need to look completely different from each other, both in the visual design and the instructions on the screen. If you're using Rise Vision, we provide pre-built templates for every emergency type. So your team just triggers the right one and the alert goes live instantly. And those templates can stay active on your displays until the emergency is fully cleared, so the message keeps showing as long as it needs to. For example, in a longer event like a weather emergency or building-wide lockdown, the alert stays present and active so no one has to re-trigger the event manually. Once the situation is resolved, you can clear the event from the same dashboard you triggered it, and every display in the building goes back to normal at the exact same time. The last thing to set up is testing, training, and integration of the system itself, because it's easy to assume that once the system is set up, it'll just work as you need it to. But the schools that actually rely on it during a real emergency are the ones that test, train, and integrate on a consistent schedule. The first part of this is building a monthly testing schedule for the entire system. That means running a test alert to ensure that every display fires the warning correctly, every template loads as expected, and every device on the network is online and responsive. The second part is training multiple people on the system, so it isn't reliant on one person being there. If your director of technology is the only one that knows how to trigger an alert or clear an override, the whole protocol breaks down the moment they're sick or out of the building. So, training at least 2 or 3 people, including a building principal or a front office lead, means there's always someone who can either trigger or clear an alert when something happens. Lastly, this has to connect to the emergency procedures you already run, like your fire drills and your lockdown drills, and everyone in the building needs to know how it works. This means running your testing and training on the same schedule as your other safety drills, and keeping staff, students, and parents updated on how the alerts work and what to do when one fires. When everyone in the building knows what to expect, they actually act and respond in the right way, and everything runs smoothly. Now, if you'd like to see how Rise Vision can fit into your specific emergency protocols and the systems your school is already running, you can get a free demo by clicking the first link in the description of this video. You'll get a walkthrough tailored to your district's existing emergency tools, the displays you already have mounted, and the buildings that you need to cover. So again, you can get a free demo by clicking the first link in the description of this video. But if you're still on the fence and want to see what the first 7 days of Rise Vision will look like, then check out this video next.